Hello, all. I hope you're all doing well. We are continuing with our weekly portion review, and this week we are in the portion of Teitzei. When you, well, in Hebrew it's Teitzei milchama, when you go out to war. And this portion really contains more commandments, more mitzvot than any other portion in the Torah. There is, I believe, over 70 commandments, and it really covers most areas of life. And it's the laws of war, and it moves on to family life and business ethics, compassion, of course, to the weak, and really trying to figure out where we have or stressing the idea of holiness in everyday life. What I wanted to focus on today and explore is with regards to the laws of war and this idea of Yafat Tor, which is a beautiful captive woman. And does the Torah really desire that a man take this beautiful captive woman? Because if you read the text, it seems that this is what the Torah is permitting. Now, Rabbi Kook, who you've all heard me mention very often, he teaches that when the Torah actually permits something that seems to align with the evil inclination, it's actually doing so to weaken its power, right? So from the really, and we all know this, from the moment something is no longer strictly forbidden, it really loses much of its seductive pull. Right? The second we say it's fine. And now the Talmud asks, what would a person do if he actually feels this desire that's overwhelming him and he doesn't want to sin? Now, one of the rabbis advises and says that he needs to go to a place where no one knows his name, and he needs to wear black and cover himself in black, which, by the way, this is where we also notice that black and white wasn't the actual original Jewish garbs. But I digress. Nevertheless, he goes to this place, and then he does whatever he wants in this place. As long as no one sees him do it and no one knows him, then he's not actually desecrating God's name publicly, because they won't necessarily associate him with a Jew. Now, Rashi, the commentator, explains that even if he ultimately sins, again, the idea is that he's not causing this desecration. Now, there's of course another opinion, Tosfot, another commentary, actually Rashi's grandson. He actually insists that we can't say that the Torah is permitting someone to sin. Rather, the act of going in black and hiding away will break his spirit until he ultimately he will refrain from actually committing the sin altogether, right? Putting himself in this space, in this mode, both physically and mentally, will keep him away from doing bad things. So we have to ask, which is correct? And as I'm sure you're all used to, the answer is a synthesis. Both are true, right? The advice that is given actually follows Rashi, right? But the outcome is what the Tosfot is describing. So how do we see this? When a person is actually told that it's permitted to go do as you wish, right? Like we said, suddenly the responsibility is shifted onto him. And he has to step back and ask himself, can it really be that I'm going to commit such a horrible thing? And the answer is no way, right? The moment the evil inclination is legitimized, like we say, the grip becomes much weaker. And ultimately, this temptation vanishes. And from this perspective, the Torah doesn't want us to take a beautiful captive woman as our wife, right? We don't want that to happen. Now, Rashi also cites the sages that if a man does so, he'll ultimately hate her, and he'll end up creating a tremendous amount of tension in his life, and it could lead to rebellious children and wayward sons, and that itself is going to be his punishment. But the Torah is actually using here a very specific tactic, right? It's granting a temporary permission as a way to actually defeat the desire itself, right? And in this sense, it's diffusing it. Now, there's another rare dimension, though, that we should discuss as well. There's a very holy rabbi named Or HaChaim, the light of life, and he explains that a soldier who actually went to war at these times wasn't your average person, right? We're talking about these were righteous, pure, untainted by the evil inclination. These were very, very righteous individuals. And when they see a beautiful woman among the captives, what they're actually perceiving is the holy sparks that have fallen into, in this case, the Canaanite nations. And we've spoken about this in previous portions about the Canaanite and the Moabites and how we are supposed to find them and assist in their rectification. So out of this deep desire to elevate those holy sparks back to its source, he takes her as a wife. And what we're seeing over here, what would appear to ordinary people like us as ultimately a concession of lust, a concession to lust that the Torah is giving over here, it's actually flipped on its head, right? Because in the hands of the righteous person, this actually becomes a profound spiritual elevation. And in this sense, the captive woman, the beautiful captive woman, isn't actually a trap of temptation, but a vessel towards redemption. Now, and I've been doing this in the last few weeks, just really reflecting about, how this connects to us in our day-to-day life, which, when the Torah is reflecting about these principles, we can't ignore the painful reality of the war in Israel that we're facing today. And the Torah's discussion about this beautiful captive woman, and specifically the laws of war, really is there to remind us of the profound truth that war ultimately unleashes the rawest desires and the darkest instincts in human beings. War is horrible. And history is filled with examples of armies that were plundering and would desecrate and abuse, and all under the banner of conquest, ultimately. And I would say this is, in essence, Israel's moral struggle today. Even under these unbearable pressures of our enemies who are attacking civilians without any mercy, Israel continues to wrestle with the ethical weight of every action that we do. Right? The world often misjudges us or condemns us, but in truth, this is the fulfillment of the Torah's vision. Right? It's not to allow the evil inclination to free reign, and it's to channel and restrain it and to act with holiness even during these foggy times of war. And the message of the beautiful captive woman is not that it's about an ancient battlefield, but it's actually speaking directly to Israel, calling in our generation. This is what our calling is, right? The Jewish people are tasked with proving that morality doesn't vanish even in war, that the sanctity of Hashem can survive even in the harshest trials. And the elevation of these sparks, right, is the ultimate purpose of battle, right? This is what remains our guiding light. We are not looking to destroy. We are looking to build. We are looking to rectify. Please God, inshallah, we'll be able to do it with our brothers and sisters from the Muslim religion as well. I'm wishing us all a Shabbat Shalom. Take care.